Welcome to Spotlight Advanced. I'm Ruth Gilland. And I'm Liz Way. Spotlight uses a special English method of broadcasting. It's easier for people to understand, no matter where in the world they live. Imagine the inside of the laboratory. Men and women in one lab coat bend over long tables. One woman is working over a small practice dish. She takes a small container of liquid and empties it into the dish. Then, she quits several drops of the different liquid from a long tube. She shells the dish and places it in the container with several more dishes. 6 weeks pass. The dishes sit in their container, but inside the dishes, something is happening. Slowly, a red substance starts to roll. By the end of the 6 weeks, it fills the dish. It looks like a hamburger, but it tastes like one. The woman returns to the laboratory and chooses one dish. She brings it into the kitchen and places the substance on the hot pan. One is brown. It's pushed between 2 pieces of bread. Then she takes a big bite. This may seem like something from a futuristic film, but the woman has just taken her first bite of lab brown or in vitro meat. Many people think this new technology can have solved many problems in the world of meat production. But will people really eat it? Today's spotlight is on in vitro meat. Many people around the world love meat. People eat pigs, chicken, cows, goats, and many other animals. Meat is an important part of world's diet. For some, meals with meat are important to who they are. Many regional foods depend on meat for their uniqueness. But there is also a big problem with meat. Raising animals take up a lot of space, food, and water, and the global population is increasing. As more people come to live on the earth, they will demand more meat, but the earth may not have enough space to keep these animals. Raising livestock animals also has a serious effect on climate change. Some animals like cows, goats, and sheep have special stomachs. Their stomachs allow them to eat foods that are very hard to digest, like grasses and leaves. But digesting this food produces a lot of methane gas. Methane is a very powerful greenhouse gas. It traps 20 times more heat than carbon dioxide, and the global meat industry is responsible for 30% of the world's meat production. If the world continues to produce meat like this, it could be very bad for the environment. For some people, growing meat in laboratories may be the solution to this problem. Meat grown with this method is usually called culture meat, lab-grown meat, or in vitro meat. To make in vitro meat, all the scientist needs is the few cells from an animal's muscle. They are put their cells in a special environment. Then they add nutrients and chemicals called hormones. These chemicals cause the cell to grow. The process does require something from animals, but the few cells from a cow could grow thousands of pounds of beef. It's much more efficient than grazing livestock, and it does not produce methane. This bitch is the director of science and technology at the Good Food Institute. She spoke to the website GEN. Culture meat could address on the problem related to industrial meat production. It addresses environmental impacts and concern about treating animals well. It stops the risk of getting disease from animals. It can do all this while working sure there is production system to meet the growth in demand for animal protein. For people like speed, In Visual Meet could solve many of our problems, but the technology for in Visual Meet is still very new, and it is still very expensive. Mark Post is Dutch scientist. He was the first person to make the lab for hamburger in 2013. It was made from cow cells. The hamburger was very expensive to make. It cost $355, and it took 3 months to run. Today, the process is much faster. Cook's Meat is a company that has started growing in visual chicken. The chicken only takes 2 weeks to produce, but a meat of this chicken will cost about $17. The process also may not be as environmentally friendly as people thought. Growing in visual meat uses a lot of energy. Some of this energy will come from burning fossil fuels. This releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide traps heat into the atmosphere, and it lasts in the atmosphere longer than metal. So, many people say it's worse for the planet in the long term. Drawing in visual meat may also cause a lot of waste. This because cell cultures must be sterile. They must be free of any bacteria or the waste. Other things will rot and ruin the meat. These sterile containers also create a lot of plastic waste, and there already is a problem of too much plastic waste in the environment. But the biggest question about in visual meat may be, will people eat it? Many people don't trust good food in the lab. In visual meat may seem unnatural, or people may fear that will somehow affect their bodies in a bad way. And in visual meat also doesn't taste like meat from animals. It does not have fat, only muscle. Fat must be added later, and taste is still not quite the same. Still, in visual meat is coming. Today it's available in very few places, but dozens of companies are working on their meat growing method. Companies have invested billions of dollars in this research, and many people believe that it's the protein of the future. Josh Tetrick is the CEO of It's Just, which grows in visual chicken. He told the website CNAT. I want tests of thousands of restaurants to have cultured meat on their menu. Then, at some point, I want them to ask their chef, why do we have conventional chicken on menu too? Would you eat in visual meat? Why or why not? You can leave a comment on your website. You can also find on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The writer of this program was Dan Grisman. The producer was Michael Ozaki. The voice you heard were from United Kingdom and United States. All words are adapted for this program and voiced by Spotlight. This program is called The Future of Meat. Visit our website to download our free official app for Android and Apple devices. We hope you can join us again for the next Spotlight program. Goodbye.